In this video, we're going to be talking about the token that supports the #1 token for utility in the cryptocurrency space. In the world of cryptocurrencies, there's really two types of tokens. There's the utility-driven tokens, and then there's also what they call meme tokens. I consider them gambling tokens. We've all seen meme tokens. They can be created by anybody. Usually they're named after some sort of cartoon character, a cat, a dog, or some other animal. They don't actually have any utility. They're mostly pump and dump schemes with a rug pull coming to get most of the people that bought in towards the end and turn them into exit liquidity. On this channel, we're not interested in those kind of tokens. We're interested in the utility tokens. Utility tokens are meant to actually transact. It's going to be the back-end plumbing of the financial system going into the future. Chances are you've already heard of many of these tokens. My personal favorite by a mile is going to be XRP, but you've probably also at least heard of HBAR, XDC, XLM, Quant, Algorand, Chainlink, Ondo. These are all really nice tokens, but I do like XRP the most for many reasons that we cover off in this channel. But there's one token in particular that stands above the rest, and it's interesting because unlike these other tokens, this particular token doesn't actually try to compete with XRP. It is perfectly fine with being a companion token, meaning it is there to make XRP better. In this video, we're talking about the Flare token coming from the Flare network. The Flare token is uniquely positioned because they're not trying to be #1. They're perfectly happy with XRP being #1, and they actually would rather be XRP's #1 partner, which is why I'm extremely bullish on this token. And in this video, we are going to be covering that. Not only are we going to look at some of its use cases, but we're going to look at the things that it's already doing that is going to paint the overall picture for why you never want to sell your tokens. You always want to be holding on to them because you can and will be able to put them to work. Once the cryptocurrency market has hit price appreciation, a lot of the things that we're talking about in today's video, it's going to be a moneymaker for a lot of us, generating enough assets that we never actually have to sell our positions. I'm very excited about this, and we're going to break down why. To start things off at the highest level, I just want to give you guys some analogies. Depending on where you are in pop culture, you may recognize some of these. If you've ever played the Halo video games, XRP is the Master Chief, Flare is Cortana. Now, if you've never played Halo, maybe you're familiar with Batman. If Batman is XRP, Flare is Alfred. Let's say that one didn't hit. Everybody knows Star Wars, especially the original trilogy. If Luke Skywalker is XRP, then Flare is R2-D2. And lastly, I think this next one really hammers it home. If you've ever played the Zelda games, XRP is Link, and Flare is the little fairy that follows you around. If you've ever played Zelda on the Nintendo 64, I guarantee at some point you heard this soundbite.
Hey, listen!
Still get flashbacks of that to this day. Anyways, that's not really the point. The point is we're trying to illustrate what do all of these characters and figures have in common. Well, there's XRP, which is like the main character. It's the hero of the story, doing most of the legwork, fighting all the toughest battles. But even the hero needs a companion, someone who's there that isn't an active participant in necessarily the combat or the physicality of whatever the struggle is, but someone who's there to shore up the weaknesses, to do the things that the hero can't do themselves. If you've played Halo, you know Cortana's there to help the Master Chief every time he encounters a locked door. Same thing with Zelda. You don't know where to go. That little fairy is going to pop in with that, "Hey, listen," and tell you this is where you need to be going or this is what you need to be checking out. Flare works in much the same way. The XRP token, as amazing as it is, we don't have any way to natively stake it. And if you don't know what staking is, it's kind of like the stock market equivalent of getting a dividend. Instead of having that token sitting idly in a cold wallet, you can actually put it to work. And some of these tokens out there like Solana and Ethereum, they're already doing the staking and people are getting passive income from that. XRP, unfortunately, hasn't really had that, but that's where Flare comes in. Flare's doing many things. It's involved in many different projects, but the project I'm most excited for, the thing that really got me into it in the first place, is going to be Flare Assets. It's the way that we're going to be able to stake our XRP and start getting some of that dividend income that you're very familiar with in stocks. The best part about all this is you never have to sell a single token, which means you can pull them out at any time and you can keep them in there for as long as you want, passively generating income. You can use that income to fuel your lifestyle without ever having to make any pullbacks on your portfolio. This is an excellent way to either retire early or start enjoying life a little bit while you let your portfolio continue to compound. So how did Flare get its beginnings? If you're brand new to the XRP space, you may not have ever heard of it, but long-term XRP holders definitely have. Flare started out in 2019. It's been front-run by Hugo Fillion. No relation, by the way. We spell our last names differently. So Flare is a layer 1 blockchain. If you're not familiar with what a layer 1 blockchain is, think of it as a base or a platform. Ethereum and Solana are good examples of a layer 1 blockchain. A lot of those meme coins that you see people gambling on, those are examples of layer 2 blockchains. Layer 1 blockchains will have a native token that handles security either through proof of stake or proof of work. And that basically means that the token is running security for the blockchain. With proof of work tokens like Bitcoin and Doge, you see this carried out by what they call miners. So in terms of Bitcoin, you've probably heard already it's a very energy intensive token. That's because machines have to run complex algorithms all day long to try to get the right answer to these very complex math equations. When they do that, they're rewarded with a token. That's what we know as the Bitcoin. That's proof of work. For proof of stake tokens on the layer 1 blockchain, they function a little bit differently. Instead of solving complex mathematical equations, it's more about having skin in the game. That's where the word staking comes from. The more tokens you stake, the more secure the network is, and you as a token holder are rewarded for staking with additional tokens. So it's a positive feedback loop. You can already see this in a lot of layer 1s today like Ethereum and Solana. Flare is a layer 1. It really runs in parallel with Ethereum and Solana. And in a way, you could actually see this network as a direct competitor to those other platforms. Now, Flare was a little bit later to the game than Ethereum and Solana. It started in development in 2019, and it didn't have its internal go live until January of 2022, which is really good for new holders because it means that the dramatic price increases haven't happened on this token yet. If you look at historical prices on Ethereum and Solana, both of those tokens are up tens of thousands of %. So you have to think, if you're looking for a 10x or 100x opportunities, those tokens have kind of already done it. And I'm not saying that they couldn't do it further, but I really do think some of these newer tokens that we're seeing come out, they just have better odds at it because their market caps are much smaller. We'll look at Flare's market cap in a minute. The internal go live was in January of 2022. It didn't have its public go live until January of 2023. If you held XRP at that time, you could actually get Flare through a Flare drop just by holding your own XRP. For XRP holders, this was a no-brainer. You were getting the Flare tokens for free. And even though the airdrops have moved on from XRP to actually airdropping from their own tokens, many XRP holders are still holding that initial Flare that they got way back in 2023. And it's really functioned as a great way to tie the two communities together. Currently, if you do have Flare tokens and you have them on the Flare network, not just sitting in a cold wallet, but integrated with their delegation system, you can still qualify for airdrops. The airdrops do run out in March of 2026, so we are running low on time. You can still get a month or two in. I'll have a video coming out in the near future that is an actual demonstration of how to use the Flare network. But there's a few videos I want to cover off first so that all the information that you need on your end is available right here on this channel. So keep an eye on that. It should be coming out in the next few weeks, definitely in the month of December. The Flare network is very forward thinking. So from the get-go, the entire idea behind Flare is to get your tokens out there delegated into different projects. Think of this the same way you would with a REIT, a real estate investment trust that you can buy on the stock market. As Flare Networks has been very forward-thinking, getting passive yield on your tokens was a native feature from the outset. If you do hold Flare, it's very easy to get yield. All you have to do is connect your hot or cold wallet to the Flare network. From there, you can allocate your tokens to a large list of labs that are available for you to wrap your tokens. As the airdrops come to an end, there's still going to be native delegation, so you are actually still going to get passive yield. Instead of having that on a monthly basis, check back every few days. You will see that there are new fresh tokens available for you to claim. Now, I do plan to do a demonstration of this on this channel, but there's a few videos I want to cover first so that by the time we do the demonstration, You have all the tools needed at your disposal and all the information coming directly from this channel so that you can follow along and succeed. So there'll be more to come on that in the very near future. As a layer 1 blockchain, Flare has a lot of ongoing projects. It is a platform that developers can develop on. But the feature that has me so excited for it, and this is really where XRP comes in, is the Flare Assets feature. Flare Assets went live of this year. I myself am a Flare Assets holder, and again, we'll be doing a demonstration on how all of this works. But I want to give you guys a very brief overview just so that you can see what it looks like on your end. So here I am, I'm on Flare's main website. So it's just flare.network and you can get there on your own. I'll have a link to this also pinned in the comment section, but just looking through a brief overview of their main website, you can see right from the get-go, they're making sure that you know Flare and XRP are lock and step. This is extremely beneficial for a lot of us long-term XRP holders. Right here you can see, put your XRP to work in Flare decentralized finance. We're going to jump over to the next screen, which shows all of this in more detail. So jumping back up here in the top ribbon where it says products, if we click on F assets, this is how you get to the Flare assets page. So you'll see right here, this is more of an informational, kind of giving you an overview of what this site does. If you want to get involved in it, you can simply come here. This takes you right here to the Flare Assets main site. So there's just 3 tabs to look at. What I really want to emphasize while we're going through all of this is that these are brand new features. It's very new. So a couple of years ago, most of this was just theory, but now this is already launched. We can see there's real traction. Things are actually moving along. I'm personally testing this out. So when I do my demonstration video, I'll show you guys what I have. It's not a whole lot. I want to make sure that this actually works before giving it a full endorsement. But the main concept that I'm really trying to hammer here is that this is no longer just theory. Things are really moving along, and the cryptocurrency space, it's moving away from this gambling culture, and it's actually getting taken seriously in the financial world, which is something that all of us can take full advantage of. Instead of chasing charts and trying to get on the next big meme coin, you can just passively generate your income here. This is a great way to lock away your money. Again, I have to see if this really truly works before giving it a full endorsement. But basically how it works is this. To give this to you guys at a very high level, you have to front load some Flare tokens as collateral, and then you also have to contribute some of your own XRP, which you would do by hitting the Mint tab. Now, I'm not connected on my wallet, so we're not going to be able to see that exactly in this video. Once you have your Flare and XRP tokens into the site, then you go to the pools. There's a few different vaults that you can allocate to. You simply get your Flare and your XRP synced in there, start minting FXRP tokens, and you don't lose your XRP tokens. You can pull them out at any time, but what you'll see once you have them in there, and I've had mine in since October, very small amount, not my whole portfolio. My FXRP tokens are passively generating additional XRP tokens for me. Now I want to make sure it's very understood. These are not making new XRP tokens. So Flare has gone out and gobbled up a bunch of the available supply for XRP, so that they can reward people like you and I for staking our XRP and our Flare tokens on the Flare Assets network. So you still have a 100 billion maximum XRP supply. That part doesn't change, but when you contribute your XRP here, you can passively earn yield so that some of the XRP that they've vaulted up then goes to you as a reward. And it benefits them because, as we mentioned earlier, with the layer 1 blockchains using proof of stake for network security, you are essentially helping their network stay more secure by staking your tokens. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. So that was the Flare Assets page. We'll cover a lot more in the near future. So I know a lot of people are probably going to be wondering, what's the price on this? Flare's a very cheap token. Let's head over to CoinMarketCap and take a quick look. You can see here, Flare is the 64th largest token, which is a really good thing, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still pretty small compared to other tokens. If we look down here, we can see Flare's total market cap, it's only about $1 billion right now, which isn't too crazy. If you think about the crypto market's total market cap, combined with Bitcoin and all the other tokens, it's currently at around $3 trillion. I'm expecting by end of year 2030 that the crypto market's going to have over $20 trillion in total market cap. If we look at Flare's current price, it's really at about a penny and a half. So you can really load up on a lot of Flare. I think by 2030, we could definitely see a $1 Flare. If you look at this from a multiplicative standpoint, I think you're probably going to get somewhere around a 40x on this token over the next 4 to 5 years. The reason for that being is as XRP's price dramatically increases, because this is a companion token, it's going to be able to ride on a lot of that success. I know that if you were to look at this chart for the first time, you're probably not that excited by it. I mean, looking here, when Flare initially launched, it was at 8 cents. So to see it all the way down here could be disheartening for people that don't understand the tech or don't look deeply into it. But when I look at this, knowing what I do about the network, the partnerships they've had with XRP, and the actual technology they're developing, I mean, this is some real application towards the utility that we've all been talking about. I'm super bullish on this, and it seems like the community largely agrees with me. You can see right here, the community sentiment, 86% are bullish. Again, started out at 8 cents in January of 2023. We're down to a penny and a half in December of 2025. If there was ever a time to be buying Flare, it's right now. Now, what I'm about to say is just simply my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a licensed professional. So do your own research and meet with a wealth professional before making any decisions. I would say a good allocation, if you were going to have a pool of money, let's say you had, just to keep things simple, $500 a month that you could invest into cryptocurrencies. I would say if you were putting $400 into XRP, Flare would be a good option to be putting about $50. And then the other $50 could go towards some of these other utility tokens that I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, like HBAR, Chainlink, Stellar is another good option. Some people have been noticing that ALGO has been getting some news lately. I think Flare is something that you should not be sleeping on. So I'm always going to say, if you're going to be buying another utility token, cut it 50-50. Again, just my opinions, not a financial advisor. But if you're going 80% XRP, 10% Flare, and then 10% of one other token if you're choosing, that's just my opinion, a good way to do things. So I am going to cap the video off here. If you liked what you saw today and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you want to help support the channel, the number one thing that YouTube looks for are video shares. With that, I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.